Let's get into it. I actually just recently changed the name of the podcast. Nobody else knows about this. You're gonna be the very first guest on the new podcast. It's pretty much
kill a Mexican in the basement.
yeah. It's how much do you hate Mexicans? Nah. It's getting faded with Ken Hamlet because the podcast used to be inebriated, hydrated, and faded, and now I don't drink anymore. So I feel like a fraud when I'm doing a drunken night out.
Did you have a rock bottom?
It was years.
Okay.
Rock bottoms, man. It was not like one specific thing. It was a weekend. I was on tour out in the Northwest, and I was just drunk the entire week, basically.
Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, I'm from the Seattle area.
Okay. Well, when you do my podcast, maybe I'll ask you. We'll go into depth. But have you done a Triple Run show before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, we'll get that. We'll get that later. We'll do that along with that. Okay.
But yeah, so I was just like fucked up, and the last straw was like I was out. I took my cousin's car. Like he always lets me use his car, and I got fucked up, and then I was like blackout drunk, drove back to his house. I don't know his address, so I don't even know how I got there. Like woke up the next day and was just like, yeah, we can't do this.
I had a few of those, but I kept going.
Yeah.
I had
so many of those before that night.
I had one. I was so the reason I started the podcast, Eric Pinnell, he does Busting Balls. He pushed me. We go to a mic or something, and I'd see him, and he's like, I tell him a story about the weekend. He's like, Jhovany, you should start a podcast. Like, nah, I do stand up. But one night I remember I was drinking with some girl named Geeks. And I'm like, why do they call you Geeks? He's like, well, I like getting geeked, right? Big coke head.
Okay, I was like, coke,
yeah. And I was like,
you can't just like slide that in there like everybody knows. I was like, geeked.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, all right, whatever. Had some drinks, and I was at this bar.
That was your first time doing coke?
No, allegedly, I've never done cocaine. Right? Never done cocaine.
I love how you're like, not a chance. I did.
No. The first time, I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah.
But this is, I had coke on me, and I was like, okay, I want to get laid. I want to fuck Geeks. So we start drinking, and I'm giving her coke. She's going to the bathroom. Oh yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh wow, let me put this on silent. My bad. My stepson's calling me. Anyways, on Kids Messenger. Anyways, as I talk about cocaine. So
it's like, Dad, I think you're talking about cocaine. You're just live right now. He's like, Dad, you're online. Get off.
So then, I give her coke. She's going to the bathroom, and I'm having a drink with her at this bar that my friend owns. Mm-hmm. And then I remember 15 to 20 minutes, right? And then the next thing I remember is I woke up in Kenosha, which is actually a different state because I was in Beach Park. So I woke up in a different state, 7 a.m, kind of by this place that I used to do open mics at.
Right.
I forgot what it's called, but I woke up there. I was like, oh, that's where I did the mic with Mike Salas. And I was like, then I was like, wait. What am I doing in my car? And then I started realizing like, oh, shit, what? I remember being at the bar and I woke up and I just started driving home because I realized it's a weekday.
Yeah.
And I think I was drinking on Sunday to Monday. I didn't get to work. So I go home. I get to this place called Winthrop Harbor and I pull over to the gas station, get something to drink or eat, then get back on the road, get home, take a nap because I don't work till 10:30.
Right.
And then I wake and I'm like, all right, go to work, sit in my corner and try to just I'm in sales. So I just make outgoing calls until about lunch. So there's no smell of liquor. Nobody talks to me. Right. And then at lunch, get my fucking junk food, whatever, to come back. And I hit up my buddy who's the owner. I was like, what happened last night? And it was like, oh, you went with Geeks. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I asked Geeks, like, Geeks, what happened last night? He's like, oh, you went with your friend. And I was like, all right, something's not adding up here.
You're like, did I get raped last night?
Yeah. The rape is my rape story. So then I was like, I go back to the bar to get my debit card. I forgot my debit card. And I go to the bartender. I was like, oh, where's my card? You got it. Okay. How much was the tab? He's like, oh, the owner took care of it. And I was like, nah, he got me, dude. Like something like, as soon as I found out, I was like, some motherfucker. I was like, whatever. I just took it. He's our friend that we make fun of, like being secretly gay and undercover gay, but he's not. Like he'll drink with you.
Yeah.
And they'll make like comments and jokes to kind of see if, so yeah, I think something happened. My butt didn't hurt, so I'm guessing maybe he felt me up. I don't know, something happened. I don't know what happened.
Maybe he bottomed and you were.
Yeah. And then I don't remember at all. I just remember waking up in Kenosha. But yeah, he's like, we go in a room and we're like allegedly doing the thing. He's like, he'll say, he made a joke like, oh, did we come here to do coke or suck dick? And we're all kind of paused, like, what do you mean? Wait, what?
You're like, wait, was that a part of this?
What are you talking about?
Did I not read the fine print?
Yeah. He's like, are we here to do coke or suck dick? I was like, what? And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. And I'm like, but it's like one of them jokes is like, were you kidding? Like, you're the guy raped me. But what'd you ask me? I forgot.
You just wanted to share.
I don't remember how we got to that story.
Just wanted to let people know that I got raped once.
Yeah, I got a clip or two about it. It's like I don't think he's ever like he's listened to some episodes. Like I'm just getting to the point. It's like he's gonna post me the signs. Like, Jhovany, was that story about me? I was like, do you remember about me?
Yeah, like I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, was it about you? You know what I mean? I never brought it up. I feel like I was being a drunk. I took the L, and then unless I got roofie, because it's like I'm a heavy drinker, and I blacked out many times, but that one was
like blackout, crazy blackout.
That was like 15 minutes, different state, Kenosha.
Damn.
Yeah,
mine wasn't that bad. I did.
And that wasn't my rock bottom.
Okay,
That was the point of the story.
Yeah,
that was the point.
Yeah,
and I came back and after that wasn't around. I kept doing it.
Yeah,
I kept like
you kept trying to swing for that fence
for a few months,
okay.
for like a month or two, but then I got to that made me implement my 2-drink maximum, so I can have 2 drinks when I went out max, and that was it. Because 1 drink is fine, 2 drinks is fine. Listen, 1 drink is fine, 2nd drink is okay. That third, when I started getting that 3rd drink in me, that's when I started feeling kind of good.
Off.
That's question mark.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2, I know nothing's gonna happen. The 3rd one is I might have a 4th or 5th, go home, or I might wake up in Kenosha and got raped by one of my friends, one of my Honduran friends.
I could have 3, I could have 4, I could have 8 and get raped.
Yeah, exactly. Dude. And I knew the 3rd was like.
That's
you know what I mean? The 3rd that led into the Miami. My Miami story was my rock bottom. That was the one where I was in Miami to visit a friend who's a vegan, right? They're having a vegan festival. I was like, I came to visit and help out their vegan festival. Okay. Helped out the whole weekend with the vegan festival. It was the last day. He used to be a bartender there, and I was like, let's go out. So we went to this place he used to work at, lit. It was packed or whatever. And I had my rule, 2 drinks maximums, right?
This was during your 2-drink maximum.
Yeah, this is post rape. Post rape. so then I go. He used to work there, right? So he's expert. They hook you up. So then I order. I was like, let me get a gin and club soda, right? You know, because I was watching my figure. No sugar. You got sugar. So then, anyways, and normally I drink whiskey, but I was like gin. I was drinking, something refreshing. Gin, not gin. Yeah, gin and club soda. And then I see her pour the fucking gin.
The gin, yeah, like
just
that's not refreshing.
Just pour it, fill it up with gin, and then a splash of club soda on the toggle. And I was like, damn, she's hooking me up. I look at my guy, but she didn't. So now I got a free drink, and I wasn't gonna be like, hey, you know that free drink you just gave me? Actually, can you re-pour it? I only want 1 shot.
Yeah, re-pouring. So then the free drink is wild.
And I just looked at it. And I was like, what do I do here? And I was like, you know what? I'll just drink it. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
A lot.
Ooh, we end up. We leave that place because they started playing. You're black, right? American?
Yeah.
Not in
you're black, right? Yeah, no.
Well,
it's a skin condition. I'm actually white.
Everyone's black. But when you go to Miami,
I know, Like I could be Haitian, I could be, I got you. Yeah, no, I'm like American black.
Yeah, because my friend's like, look, he told me, he's like, I'm black. Like, I'm American black, South Carolina, blah, blah, blah. So they started playing all these
like the Haitian
West
music.
Haitian
and the Indies, West Indies.
What is that one? It's like, it's that wine music, and it just boom, boom, and I was like, all right, next song, and I was like, I'm done. They were playing top mixer, and I was like, mix it, and went and turned into that, and I was like, I just can't right now. I want to listen to something else. I wanted to listen to like a mix. You know what I mean? Like, where's Future? I wanted to mix and maybe some Drake, but I would listen to him at the time. Now I'm conflicted. But anyways, he's a groomer. But I was like, I separate the art from the artist. This is weird. Whatever. But that's a whole different subject. And I'm like, we go to this place that I used to work at called BT's. No, not BT's. Oh, I didn't say that. So we go to Boogie's.
I love name drops.
So we go to Boogie's, right?
Yeah.
And it's dead. Nobody's there except for this bartender. So now I'm planning things out in my head. I'm kind of drunk, and I've had a few drinks, and I know that next door was a strip club that I used to live by, and I would go there, get drunk, and then go in the back and sleep with the strippers. They let you sleep. You just pay them, you sleep. And I was like, I'm already thinking. I go to the ATM, I'm already taking a few $100. Like,
you planned,
pre-playing in my head, like that it started creeping up. The Lobo started coming out, right? And I'm like, whatever. So then he's like, let's go to BT's. He's like, all right, let's go chill. He knows we go to BT's. I'm like, double. And he's telling me,
you've broken your 2 drinks.
Oh yeah, I already broken it. He's like, hey
like
man,
the first
are you
drink
sure,
was breaking
man?
it, yeah.
Like, you know, we don't have to do this again because he knows we go to BT's and I turn into his animal.
Yeah.
And then I go to the back and I have sex with the strippers. And he was like,
schedule,
don't.
yeah.
He's like, so he sees I'm ordering doubles. Because for some reason when I drink, I feel like I could do this stuff and get away with it because I'm drunk and it's
drunk.
okay.
Yeah. Like morality's out the window when you're
Yeah,
drunk.
it's
You're like,
like, it's
yeah,
okay.
that's drunk me.
I'm drunk.
Sober me would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and he's like, dude, you don't have to do this. This doesn't have to be a thing where you go back, you spend all your money. We do this every year. You don't have to do it this time. And he's like, look,
Being a good friend.
Yeah, he was like looking at me, and I was like, and he's like, I'm gonna leave. Come home with me. This doesn't have to happen. I just look at him, and I'm like, what I say is, I'm like, I just look at him. I'm like, do your thing, Playboy. And he knew. I was like, do your thing, Playboy.
With that, do your thing,
Playboy.
Yeah, he's
dude.
like, it's a lost
And he looked at me
cause.
because he saw the look. He's like, he told me after, he's like, I know when I see that look, you're gone. It's like, I can't get you back. He's like, let's go. So I ended up going the back with this one thick Cuban Latina. And I was like, okay. And then I go back there with her, right? And I'm asking, I want drugs now, cocaine allegedly. And I'm like, can you get me some? I'm like, yeah, I'll get you some. And then she's like, actually, I have a surprise. I have good news. I brought you another stripper. And now, I mean, I'm drunk, but I'm like,
Price has gone up.
yeah, I'm like, wait a second. And my back of my head is like, this isn't working. No. Because now this is done with the price. Like,
I don't have this kind of budget right now.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Fuck, this happened to me before. This one guy sold me these, like a used tire or a used car, and he was like, hey, guess, I was broke as fuck. He was like, guess what? I got a birthday gift for you. I got you these new tires, so the price is gonna be $100 more. And I was like, no, this is not what I wanted. So I'm like, damn, right? So we're going to the back. I think one of them gave me a head there or something, possibly. And then now the strip club is closing, right? And I'm like, I want to keep this going. And I was like, here, it'll be this much money, 500 or something to go back. And normally it's like 250 maybe, and tip the security guard.
250?
Normally it's 250
seems affordable.
in the back.
That's
yeah, but then it went from that to like, okay, now we're gonna go back to a hotel, blah blah blah. So the price went up. We'll go back for the hour 500 for each of us, and I'm like,
damn.
In that moment, I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Fuck it, YOLO. You know what I mean? Let's go. It's something
YOLO.
ridiculous.
There's no way.
Because usually it was 250, sleep with a stripper, tip the security guard.
That seems like
I would spend 30 minutes.
I'd spend more than that just getting dances when I was going to strip clubs. Like there was one night where I spent like a little over $2,000. No, I didn't fuck a single stripper. Just throwing money at
you were drinking, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I would just do, like, when I go, it would be my thing where I go on the road and all the money that I made during my shows, I would just throw in the strip club. So it's just like, oh, this is free. Because I was working at the time. Comedy wasn't my livelihood.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
It's
I don't
free
give
money.
a fuck
It's
about
house
this
money.
money. Yeah, like I'm playing on house money and throw it all away and then be like, God damn, I should have taken at least $10.
Yeah, dude, it hurts. Like I did a show in Iowa, and I remember I made like 250 or something like that. Yeah. I covered for Oscar because he hit me up the night. Oscar Carvajal, he hit me up the night before. He's a drunk. I don't know if he's done the podcast, but he's a drunk. Yeah, he's definitely drunk. So that, like, he's my feeling sometimes when someone backs out of the podcast. I'm like, Oscar, I'll call him. I was like, are you drunk? I had 6 beers, but I was like, damn it, no. The next one. I got to look for a backup when somebody cancels last minute. So then, yeah, he was like, he hit me up the night before and he was like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, nothing, because I wasn't caddying. Usually in the summer I have to caddy. I was like, can you go to Des Moines, Iowa and host for me at this half bilingual show? And I was like, fuck, I didn't have any kids. I was like, sure, whatever. So I go, I host, get 250 or whatever, spent the money on a bottle because there was this white chick who liked Mexicans who had knuckle tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Shorty, blondie,
that's your weakness? Is that your...
It's a mix, dude. I go for all kinds.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Whatever's available, actually.
Look, I tell my girl, like, you're very beautiful, but I would fuck anything. Will I be with anybody? No. Relationships, like, I would never in relationships. But she's like, just... don't get it twisted. There's a girl named the Hidden Pig I used to hit up. Damn. There was the possum. There was like,
damn.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you had some
dogs. I didn't discriminate if I didn't have to be seen with you. Now, if I gotta be seen with you, that changes it. But if you just come over, nobody's gonna see.
We just fucking
the standards drop. Like,
they taking all the
drastic. You know what I mean? Drastically.
Bottom,
but I do the thing, and then I'm talking to her, and I'm trying to like smash knuckle tattoo, but then these other Mexicans come. They get, I think, a bottle, and they're thuggier Mexicans. That's what she likes, and I lost them. And I spent the bottle or whatever. And I spent my whole show, but it was like, well, whatever.
Still had a good time.
And I got a comic laid there that night, a Chicago comedian.
Got him laid.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast.
All right, yeah. I'll tell you after. I'm not gonna do. Yeah. He's like, I'm not putting anybody else's business out there. I'll put my shit out there.
Yeah. I won't put him. But he better have gotten laid because I warmed this chick off for him. But what'd you ask me?
You know what?
I'm in Miami. Yeah, I'll go back to Miami.
we'll go. Before we even do that, intro yourself, man. I fucking didn't even get to intro you, man. Like,
Jhovany Diaz, Lower Than Podcast. It's been out. It comes out every week. Different comedians talk. This is crazy stories usually, and then some comedy. If there's like more of a season, I've realized, okay, this is a seasoned veteran. Let me talk a little comedy with them. Not be like, hey, so fucking.
Tell me all your dumb
what's
stuff.
up, Kevin Bosby? You eat ass a lot. Like, no, I mix it up. I've learned a little bit. So it comes out every week. There's, it's out on everything. And I do comedy sometimes. I kind of chilled back.
Really?
From doing comedy, but now I'm doing. He's been
streets.
booked for shit, and it's like, fuck.
That's a good problem to have, man.
Yeah, like
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I'm doing Anthony Fuentes. I'm doing a roast battle 6-1, and then Chris Barnes. I'm gonna feature for him. Oh, he's funny, dude. Milwaukee dude, black guy older guy does only weekends because he works for Southwest, but he's about to retire. But like not known. I'm trying to get him on because he doesn't have any reels. He doesn't put anything online. Like Larry Reed type of dude. Like these dudes that don't put any other stuff.
Old school
online.
comics.
You just once they go, that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know. Like they go out there and they kill for like 45 minutes. It's like Chris just crowd work. It's crazy, dude. Like and then when I was Mario, who runs the show, he hit me up and he was like, hey, 25 to 30. Delavan this one show, and I was like, I just said yes, and I was like, fuck. So I need to have 10 new minutes before that fucking show because it's like,
when is it?
June something, June 17th. So, but I've been like, because that's why I chilled out because I was like, I haven't written anything new, and I was gonna chill out and doing stuff, but I keep getting booked. So I was like, all right, let me do some mics and do some shit because I can't. It's gonna happen. So I've come to the exception. I'm gonna get booked for shit. Let me make it happen. Yeah, and I can't do crowd work in front of fucking. Chris Barnes is the king of crowd work. So if I go up there and try to do sneak it 10 minutes,
you just look like a fucking bum.
An idiot. So now, all right, I'll get it ready.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, Lower Than Podcast. And Ken's gonna be doing it soon, so he'll come out. You'll be 190 something. I don't know.
190. Damn.
Yeah, you're gonna be 190 something. 191 is out right now with Eric Pennell again.
Damn, dude.
So,
that's a lot of fucking episodes.
Yeah,
man.
and two of them. One of them was who you just had. He's black.
St. James.
St. James.
Yeah.
He has two, but only one came out because the first one, just learning, fucking the file got corrupted on this hard drive I had. Gone. So I had to call him back and be like, let's do it again. That's when I used to go to people's places, in his apartment. And Anthony Fuentes has one that we recorded at a Chili's because he worked at a Chili's as a bartender.
Yo, that's hilarious,
dude. And then I think people know now, whatever. But he was like, we did it, and he's like, hey, man, PTSD, my medication, I didn't take it. I didn't feel right about the episode. I was like, cool. So when we did the Lobo Den, after he did it again at the studio, I was like, hey, so that first one, but he was like, I lied. I was way too high. I told him to take it off. I was this motherfucker, dude. I was like, my bad, dude. I was too high. I was like, I can't have that shit go out. Because I was like, I noticed something.
That's hilarious.
Off a little bit. Yeah, he's like,
that's hilarious.
I was too high. So him, and there's like 3 I took off from somebody that that canceled. I don't fucking know.
I definitely had one where Shrista, she like a comic out of Portland, she just had gotten a fucking crazy car accident, almost lost her life. Like it was insane. And I had her on and she was like, why the fuck did you it was such a bad episode.
She was just depressed and
she was just like fucking strung out on drugs basically. Not like fucking pharmaceutical drugs. She's fucked up. Yeah. So she was just like, all the pain pills and shit. And she was just like, why did we do that? And I was like, I'll get you back on it another time. Because I definitely had some bad ones where I'm like, I probably should take that off. Yeah. So
I had some of the bad ones where it's like, I expect more and the guess is like, they're not one-word answers, and it's like, this is, I'm like, no.
Like, fam, why did you ask to do the pod?
Especially when they ask you, you know what I mean? That's like, the worst.
I want to be on, and then they get on and you're like,
my
God damn, dog.
It's like you ain't. If I asked you, I get it, you know what I mean? It's on me as the host or whatever, I got to bring it out of you, but like, you asked me, and it's like, talk.
Me dog shit. Yeah.
Yes or no is not. Just, I make sure, like, Felipe Esparza has a funny thing on YouTube about this where he does this complaint, like he's like, talk, motherfucker, and if you're gonna ask me to do it and when it comes out, like promote it or something like that. He goes into a little thing and I'm like, I was watching as a host. I was like, yes, exactly that.
Fucking get it, yeah.
But no, like I said, so do your thing, Playboy, right? And he's leaving, so I'm in the back with them. Now we're like, hey, 500 or whatever, like let's go. So we get in their Altima, whatever car they had. We get there, we stop by a gas station, get some gas. We buy a cheap bottle of booze.
Okay.
Right. No, cheap bottle of wine, right?
Yeah.
Then we go to the first hotel. They don't let us in because you're only supposed to say, we go to these hotels by Calle Ocho, right? These little motels.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to say just me and another person. I said me and two other people. They're like, no. So then we have to drive.
Why do they say no to motel?
Because they know that a lot of hookers
got
this. So it's like, they're like, no, they're very strict. You know what I mean? So they like know what's going on. So the stripper's like, no, you did it wrong. I told you you're supposed to say just one or whatever. And then we sneak this one in. I was like, all right. So then we go to the next one and then we do it. We get to the hotel.
Yeah.
But now I can't have sex because I did way too much cocaine and my fucking penis isn't erecting.
Does that happen?
If you do too much coke, at least to me, if I do too much coke,
like to me it does.
right, I can't too long. I could drink all I want, but if I do too much cocaine,
coke, your dick don't work.
Yeah, if you do too much, if you do too much, it doesn't. And it made me think about like a premise. Like that's such a funny drug where motherfuckers know that this is gonna kill your dick, and that's all you kind of want, but you'll still keep doing it. Like you'll push it. Like all right, I know I shouldn't do it, but a little bit more, maybe.
It's supposed to make it. Don't it make you like fuck better though if you're on coke? But too much will turn your dick off.
And I've heard this, like if you put it on your penis.
Yeah, that's what they used to do in the fucking 80s. They put it on the coochie, eat some pussy, and
you're supposed to be like all super hard. And I was like, I don't know. So like there was a point where I realized that, so I would get the gas station dick pills and do the coke. Isn't that how what's his name died? The guy from Texas. He was one of those like male. He would talk to incels. Not talk to Kevin Daniels,
Kevin Samuels. Samuels.
Yeah. I don't know if he was doing coke, but it was a mix of that stuff.
And died in the hotel room. Yeah, sounds like
fucking,
your story already. It was a threesome too.
Yeah,
God damn.
So I'm there, and we keep doing it allegedly, right? We keep doing it. We get to the point where, like, at one point we had a one or two deliveries because we ran out.
Damn.
And we're drinking, right?
So they're just kicking it at this point.
Yeah, we're like all doing drugs. We're kicking it like, I think I ate their pussy, ate their ass, blah, blah, blah. But so I did what I could and they ate each other out. I did what I could without my penis. So then it was like,
it got still full price? They give you a discount?
No, this is the problem, right? Because it's like I was paying for the hour. So when it ran out, I'd be like, and then I was like, oh shit, or 2 hours or whatever the fuck I was paying for. She was like, I kept Zelling them money or whatever. And they're like, only Zelle and another one. Or I couldn't do, she's like, credit card. She's like, I don't trust that shit. And there was a point where my bank was like, they cut me off because they're like, something's going on here, right? Yeah. So I got on the phone with my bank. I called them and I did a whole thing. I was like, this is me doing it. The next day, there's a picture of me, a text message, TCF. It was a picture of my ID and everything. Because I was on the phone. There was one point where it stopped and I was on the phone for 30 minutes proving like, this is
God
me.
Damn.
Keeping it going. Now we're just getting high, doing coke. At one point, around 3 p.m., the one that looked like Pocahontas, she was a skinny one. And like her, she left, right? Because her mom called her, she was laying at her. So I was there with the thicker blonde one. And there was a point where, I broke the toilet, right?
Damn.
And I broke it because we ran out of booze and we couldn't get booze. Like at one point they were giving us like beers with the motel, but at one point at a certain time it was coming out. And then I was like, fuck, we don't have any more booze. We wanted to keep drinking and do drugs. So I was like, the wine we bought at the liquor store. So we don't have a bottle opener. So I'm like, how do I do this? So I go to the bathroom and I try to open the bottle on the toilet, break the toilet.
God damn.
Forgot I broke the toilet. Go back at one point because I got to pee. After I flush, it fucking, the bathroom floods. I cut my toe on the glass.
Damn,
so then the stripper starts putting like heel on my toe with napkins or something. She's over here. She's my nurse now. And it's like, now it's getting close to 5 p.m. And then she's talking about her boyfriend that beats her up. We're listening to Selena. It's just too many drugs. You know what I mean? This is white level shit drugs. It's not for me. White people do this amount of drugs. Like I do a little bumps with my friends to keep going and maybe try to fuck some chicken Waukegan. Like this is not for me. This is not for me. So I was like, and then finally the other girl comes, picks us up around 5 p.m. You know,
you went through the entire night.
Yeah.
Spent the day.
Yeah, this is 5 p.m. the next day.
God damn.
We go to my car. They drop me off somewhere. I take an Uber. I get to my friend's house. They're trying to get a hold of me. They think I'm dead. I get to his apartment. His wife is there. His son is there. His mother-in-law's is in town.
My Lord,
and I walk in, and they're like, they just see me walk in like a ghost, and I'm in with my jaw is moving. Like this, you know what I mean? I just walk in. I was like, "Oh, what's up? I'm good." And they're like, "Jhovany, you want something to eat?" No, I'm good. I go in the room, take a 45-minute nap because now I have to go to the airport because I got to come back to Chicago. And I'm like, I go. So he takes me to the airport. I'm just like in the drive. I'm like, I'm like, whatever. Like, fuck. And it's all hitting me. And now I'm at the terminal waiting for my plane. And I remember I look at my phone, I look at my bank accounts, and they're all negative. I was like, no. And it started to sink in. I was like, no, you motherfucking didn't. Like, and I remember for the next few weeks when I would look at my bank account, like I get direct deposit. So I would just look at my bank account would just get less negative. It took like a few weeks before I got into the positive. So every week I'm just like less negative. God, and then I used to caddy, and I haven't caddied like I caddied in a few years. So I call the caddy master up. I'm like, hey, you need caddies next weekend?
Like I need to be there.
He's like,
now.
yeah. And I worked 7 days a week because I caddied every day that weekend. So I remember that next weekend. It was like one of the hottest days of the summer. I'm carrying these 2 bags. I'm in the first hole, and I'm like, was it worth it, motherfucker? This is why you're doing this. But you know what's funny? I paid everything back. Yeah. I got my credit score up. Like there was a point where one of my bank accounts I shared with my friend because we had a house together. Yeah. So it was for the rent and stuff for that house.
Gosh,
that got drained.
Over that too.
But he didn't find out until like right before the day. I remember he hit me up. Hey, can you take what's the balance on our savings? I'm gonna borrow some money out of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll send. And he sent me the next day. Oh, I'll send it to you tomorrow. Then I got paid. I borrowed like $100 from a friend, and it was like got it back to where it was. I'm like, screenshot. Oh, here it is. But then I didn't. When I came back from Miami, I didn't drink. My rule, I didn't drink. I didn't drink indefinitely. Yeah. So I didn't know. I just wasn't drinking. I didn't do drugs for 90 days. Damn. Actually, being 89 days. I actually did a show at that bar. I produced a show at that bar. My friends. Yeah. And then after we're done with the show, like I hate you produce shows. Yeah. So, I was just when it was finally over and it was good. I was like, the guy was like, hey, he wants to do drugs with the comics in the back. And then I'll tell you some names after the podcast.
You're like, maybe. No more drugs.
And I was like,
please, no more drugs.
But drugs, I think 90 days was the rule. Women was 30 and booze indefinitely. And I remember I went in the back. He was like, hey, you want to do a bump, allegedly? And I was like, no, I'm not supposed to do drugs for 90 days. I actually can't until tomorrow. So, and like that whole show, no booze, just club soda. He's like, come on. I was like, I give it that shit. That's all it took. Come on.
He's like, all right, shit.
And I was done. Yeah, no women. Like I refused. Like there's some one girl I started talking to, but I was like, I told her I cannot hang out with you. I told 30 days. Like it was like I came back and I was like, I used to have these moral hangovers come back from Miami. Like one time, similar thing happened, but not as bad. And I was just like in the bathroom and I played with myself. Yeah. And then when I came, it was like just nothing came out as far as it just felt like
damn.
And I was like, you know what? I had to chill. I'm not doing anything. I would take little breaks and that. But after that one, that's when I don't remember the next time I had a drink.
You make me feel like I'm fine. I could just
but I could drink now. Like I could drink and have a few drinks, but it took me that year where I can drink here and there and enjoy myself, but I couldn't it was a year or two. I didn't drink anything. Like I remember I was at my cousin's birthday and they were at a distillery in Highwood and there was whiskeys and I love whiskeys. And this is that year back and I was like, she's like, oh, this is this type of whiskey. I was like, really? She's like, you want to try it? And I was like, sure. You know what the fuck? I'll just try it. And I tried it. And as I felt it go through my body, I felt like the demon wanting to come out. And there was a bottle of vodka there and I wanted to finish that bottle. And I was like, okay, let me go back to not drinking because I cannot do this. But eventually like I'm at a place where I can actually drink. I can have 1 or 2 drinks. I can drink a little bit. I can get wasted, but it's like,
I can't do
it's
that.
different. Yeah.
I can't. I like even being around it sometimes will like start to bug me. Like I can't, like I'll there's certain shows where I'm just like, all right, I'm out of here. And I do my show and it's all about like abusing alcohol. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I gotta.
How long have you been on the wagon? I forget how they.
On the wagon?
Off? No, you're on the wagon.
You're on the wagon. Yeah. It's been, I stopped in August of last year. So I'm pulling up on like.
So you're not even a year yet.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah, I was that first year. I was like, no, nothing. I didn't even remember my first time like drinking again. Yeah. But I just remember when I had that little bit of whiskey and I felt like I wanted to drink. I didn't give a fuck about anything. You know what I mean? Like, look, I have a son. I love my son, but I even told my girl like sometimes when I drink and I'm drunk and I have that good buzz, like I feel like I don't love anything more than this feeling. It just feels like that to me. I fucking love it.
That's how
love it more than anything.
That's why I gotta stop, because I'm like, if nothing else in the world matters to me, then it's like it's time to fucking put it down.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But all right, man, we've been in here about 30-something minutes. Okay. I wanted to. You talking about drugs, everything. So this is that's the whole concept of the new podcast. All right. Let me ask you this. So if you had to pick like your poison, and that's the only thing you can do for the rest of forever, what would that poison be?
Like that I could do?
Yeah.
Without probably
like no negative.
Probably booze, but with no negative. I love. You know what? Alcohol made me realize that all other drugs, like I have no problem with. I've never abused cocaine. I've done.
I don't know the story.
Yeah. That was. If that story had no alcohol and just me doing coke, whatever, I would have been like, I would have been at the place. I'm like, I'm all high. The stripper went up to me. I'd be like, get away from me. I got home. That booze, man. That booze turns something on in me. Like I don't know. I had sex with a lot of hookers before that. Yeah. Like probably there was a point where it was over 60. And that was all. I would never had sex with a hooker sober. Like there was a point where I realized like it was one of them dare moments. I think that Rogan talked about this, but it made me realize like booze is one of the worst things out there, and you can get it anywhere. Like, and then I could smoke weed. I do nothing. I could even do Molly. I'm fine. I can do coke for me, because I know plenty of cokeheads that cannot handle any type of cocaine, but I could do coke allegedly. And then like at a podcast work, I think I maybe have a little bit ADHD, so it all kind of like
slows you down a little bit,
helps me out. Like, because there was a point where I was doing it kind of medicinally, you know what I mean? But
micro dosing coke.
Yeah, and it just sounds so bad because like nobody believes you. Like you're a cokehead. Like I tell people, look, I am not a cokehead, and they don't believe you. And it's weird because nobody like that shit don't fly because I know cokehead, so it's there's no way they believe me because I know how these motherfuckers are. Like they start lying, they're like blah blah blah, and it's like, oh yeah, this is for my neighbor, this and that, and it's like, and there's all these stories. Oh yeah, I lost it. Can you drop off another one? Blah blah blah. But anyways, but it's like, so I was like, man, like I abuse this drug so much, but you can kill me, you can get it anywhere, but you can smoke weed. No issue with weed, no issues with Molly, no issues with nothing. So it made me like kind of reassess everything. Like what, one of the moments like dare, like they lied about this. You know what I mean? When I found out weed wasn't really that bad for you, I was like, what else did they lie about? I had that moment. I was like, this is fucked up. And I was like, but I was encouraged since I was a little kid to drink. But it's like, to me, that's the most destructive one I had. I'm like, I could do all the drugs till I'd be home at the end of the night. But alcohol, I'd be like, question mark. You know what I mean? Some fucked up bullshit happened. And it's like, I love drinking. You know what I mean?
It's my favorite, man.
Yeah, like, because honestly, like coke without drinking, it's like, it doesn't, I don't even enjoy it. I mean, I do. Like I said, the microdosing cocaine, it worked for me, it helped me out, but it's not fun. Like, like
it won't make a night.
No, like doing coke by itself is sad to me. It's like, I don't know how white people do it. Like in those movies, it was like, you're just doing cocaine. That's it. Like I don't want to feel that way. I don't like how I feel when I just do cocaine. I just start getting scared, paranoid. Like some people, I feel on top of the world, but without the booze, I don't like how I feel, certain levels. There might be a little bit, I feel okay, but I was like, honestly, like I get the same feeling by having a good amount of coffee. For me. I'm like, so coke, weed is, I'm not really a weed guy. Molly, I become antisocial. You know what I mean? Like
really? Doesn't it do
good Molly? I become antisocial. Bad Molly, it's meth. It's fucking meth. No, you know why? I remember I was out. I did Molly. I think we're in Miami or over here, and there was girls and people didn't want to talk to them. I was in my little corner looking at the lights, listening to music, and I was like, these girls, they can't make me feel any better than I feel now. I was just like in the zone. So it's like I'm antisocial, but booze, it's like I'm fun. I'm talking to people. I'm trying to sleep with hookers, sleep with regular people. It's just so fun. Just thinking about it kind of makes me want to drink. But I had some of this.
I was like, I'm watching you, and I'm like, I think I'm triggering you.
Yeah, but man, them hangovers, like I'm old now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit does. Those hangovers like fuck me up.
Never
And
get
I get
hangovers.
heartburn. You don't get hangovers.
No, that's the reason why it was hard to like cut drinking, just because I like
Makes
I don't get any of the bad shit, no hangovers, and it was just like no punishment.
How did you quit? Damn, you should do this case study. That's amazing, dude. Like at least I have hangovers to deal with. You don't have to do any hangovers.
Nothing. Just get up the next morning and fucking ready to go. And then I'll just, that's why like that
Is
whole
your
week-
gene? We need to put you in a lab and study you so we can make a pill, the Ken Hamlet pill, like they tried to do the girl in Away From or the zombie show on HBO.
Oh
Yeah. Whatever that girl, like that's you. We got to take you to the other side of the fucking. And then, oh shit, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it was tough. That was like the reason why it was so hard to quit. But let's get you out of here. Let the people know where they can find you on social media. Cool shit you got going on.
Loboden Podcast on everything Patreon. There's some secret episodes and that I put up, and I got some with information, and I'll drop names on there. Like the point, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I think I brought plugs here. When does it come out? In a few weeks or?
So this will be. I'm gonna start the new season of the podcast. So this will be a whole new thing.
Okay, I don't know if this will be by like I'm doing the roast battle with Anthony June 1st. Doing some show Racina Evelyn June 2nd, and 6/17 Delvin with Chris Barnes. And then my roast battle is out now with Oscar. That actually went well. You were there, the one with Gabriel, dude. I fucking ate shit on that one. I was so bad, dude. It was like I haven't done a roast battle in fucking a few years. I didn't do comedy. I didn't do a show in a while. And then Gabriel's one of the best dudes. And I went in with I had to say, I was like, all right, I wrote, like I was talking to my friends. He was like, just, fake Mexican. And that's all my jokes were. He showed up. He's like, this motherfucker looks Mexican as fuck today.
Mexican
I was like,
as
God
shit.
damn it, motherfucker. And I was like, I'm not really good on the spot. I'm a writer. Fuck. It is what it is, dude. But the other ones are good. Oscar's is good. And the other ones came out are funny. But yeah, that one's pretty shitty. Like I share the other ones. That one, if it's there, it's there. But I definitely don't share that one. It's out there if you want to see it. But like, fuck it.
You're going to find it on your own.
Yeah, motherfucker. I'd send you that link.
All right, man. Well, this has been a drunken night out. Peace out, y'all. Or get faded with Kid.
All right.